I like looking at these bigger stages. I don't like running back and forth on them. It's too much work.
Ja, hi, der Jan hier von nStuff und wir sind heute beim Rockavaria Festival mit John und Marco von den Daisies und ja, sie waren jetzt gerade auf der Bühne im Olympiastadion und nehmen sich jetzt noch ein paar Minuten Zeit für ein kleines Interview. So, hi guys, how are you doing?
We're good.
Good. How are you, John?
Yeah, fine, thank you. You've been on the stage of Olympia Stadium some minutes ago. How was that show for you?
It was cool. It was our first one. So as we go, it'll get better, but there's a couple little things, but for the most part, I thought it was a great show.
It was great. The audience received the band really well, and that's the first thing that matters. But, always in any tour, the first couple of shows, you're tweaking and fixing little things and all that. But all in all, it was great, well received, and that's what matters,
Okay, and you like those huge stages and stadiums, or is it more like, in the club you connect better at the band and with the audience?
Well, I mean, we did one club show in Cuba, and then one bigger show. This stage was much bigger than the ones that we did in Cuba.
Yeah.
I like looking at these bigger stages. I don't like running back and forth on them. It's too much work.
It comes and goes. It depends, I can't favor one or the other, but obviously we want to play for the bigger audience. So you get used to it. Again, it takes a couple of shows, 2-3 shows to kind of get the rhythm. But it was great, man. The bigger the better, the bigger the audience. Obviously, we're trying to promote the new album, Revolucion. So, yeah, throw us in the big stage, man. We'll do it.
Yeah, and you think some fans already knew your new songs?
It felt like it.
Yeah. I think there was a couple out there when we did Moses. I saw, because the video's been out for Midnight Moses for quite a bit now, like maybe a month or so, and so there were some people when we started it. I could see they got excited about it.
They were bopping, man.
Yeah.
You and I.
That one went over really good. Yeah.
You could see the hit bopping, man. It was great. Awesome.
Yeah, and you like being on the road in Europe? Is it different compared to the States?
Well, you guys talk very funny, so yes, it's a little different. But no, I actually love coming to Europe. I've been probably since 1998. I've been coming over here almost yearly with the Eric Singer project that I do, and then I had an acoustic record a couple years ago, and we were actually on tour around the same time.
Yeah, we did the same.
So I love coming over here. I love checking out all the different foods and just all the different cultures from each country. So it's cool.
I'll tell you, my impression of Europe every time I come here, no matter what project, is that you guys love music. 1, 2. You're still. We have a thing, and with all due respect to the U.S., we're a little jaded because we've had huge amounts of all kinds of artists and the industry and all that. And so after a while, you kind of get, not jaded, but you get used to it. You take it for granted. Here, you guys are still popping, man. And it's, I every time we do a tour here, I walk away inspired, because you really appreciate it. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's why a lot of bands come here. And there's a lot of festivals and a lot of gigs, so.
Yeah, but would you say the vibe on a German or European festival is different compared to US festivals?
What do you think, bro?
To be honest with you, I mean, I've done a few in America, and look, you know what? Each festival has its own following or audience or whatever. Like there's Rocklahoma and there's Bonnaroo and what's the other one in California?
The one in China.
Whatever that. Whatever. It's, so those festivals do well because they've just grown over the years. But I just think Europe in general. There's America. We have. I live in Nashville, so I turn my TV on and I've got 700 fucking TV stations and try to get somebody to get off their couch and turn the TV off and spend gas money and then parking money and then to get in and. So it's difficult here. I think, I don't know. It just seems like a different attitude or vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Culturally speaking, I think you guys emphasize the importance of music in Europe. That's just my opinion. It's still relevant, you know, in the culture as a society, without getting too deep. But in the U.S., I think the industry's kind of switched and gone through phases and all that.
But there's a lot of distractions too.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
a ton.
I'm guilty of it. You know,
It's
like
true.
I'll have friends that they're like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna be in town," you know, and I'm just laying on my couch watching Sons of Anarchy or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, I'll tell them I broke my foot. I couldn't make it.
We're
I'll
so
come the next
guilty
time.
of that.
Yes,
Exactly. Coachella. That's the
Yes.
one that's huge, and now they've got Rock and Rio in Las Vegas. So it's turned into more of an event thing, more of a pop thing actually. Pop artists are showing up at these things. Here, it's still on the rock side, it's just heavy, you know, and you always walk away appreciated. That's the thing I always feel, you know. So
Yeah, they like.
they dig
Especially
it, man.
here in Germany,
Yeah.
it seems like they like heavier, more aggressive, you know. So for me, it's cool.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. But rock and roll fans all over the planet are rock and roll fans, man. That's one thing that we have in common, you know. So it is different, but it's good. It's all good everywhere.
Yeah, and what would you say have been your main influences that brought you into all this rock business and rock music?
Wow. That's yours, bro.
For me, probably I would say, I mean, I still to this day I have an iPod with the majority of the songs on it. It's all stuff from the late '60s all through the '70s. So I love classic rock: Zeppelin, the Beatles, Queen, Aerosmith, Grand Funk Railroad, Humble Pie. You know. But I think probably the main two for me is the Beatles and Zeppelin.
Right there.
Yeah.
So, and you will be on tour now with another legend of rock music with Kiss.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that? Are you looking forward to see them live many times and to share the stage with them?
Yeah, I mean, look, Kiss was one of the first shows as a kid that I went to go see. And then as I got older, I met Gene Simmons wanted to manage or he had a record label back in the 80s, Simmons Records, and he tried to sign my band. So he's always been, for me, a supporter of mine. Eric Singer is a very good friend of mine. I've known Tommy, you know, when he was in Black and Blue, and then he did the Kiss tribute thing in America called Cold Gin. You know, so I've known those guys for years, you know, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're very grateful for them bringing us over, and it's going to be like a little bit of a family reunion a little bit. You know what I mean? It's going to be cool.
That's what these festivals are, you know, the great side of these festivals. Like he was saying, you know, we have a lot of friends in the business that come around, and otherwise we don't have the opportunity to hang, so we're all here. It's amazing the amount of friends you have. But coming back to your question, the Kiss thing is, in my opinion, Kiss have, for the longest time, set a high standard of music and showmanship, and they give 150% every time. And I've been lucky enough to be out with them with 2-3 different projects, and they're always really cool. They're always really generous, and they appreciate what we're doing. So. Yeah,
I do think 150% is a little too much,
little
though.
too much. Well,
I'll stop at like 139.
139.
That's the most I'll do.
But I've seen a lot of their shows, man, and I got to say honestly, and I'm not bullshitting you in any way, I always take the time to go out and grab a few of their shows from the back, from this, you know, from the board. It's just impressive what they do, the songs, the fans, They're a legendary band, you know. They've set a high standard. So to be on the same stage and sharing, you know, their audience is just a great opportunity. And so we're very grateful to be able to do that, you know. Thank you guys.
Do you think it might be hard to make their fans happy with your sound? So because there might be fans that are so much into Kiss that they don't realize that there are other bands.
No, for me though, it's weird because I had a band for a little while after Motley with Bruce Kulick from Kiss, a band called Union, And a majority of the people that supported that band were the Kiss fans. And even when we were on stage today, I was looking out and I saw a couple friends from Germany that I always see, like when Union or ESP plays, I see them in Telps, Austria. And then there was a couple over here and a couple over there, and they're waving and holding up signs, you know. So I think the Kiss fans, you know, look, they know that Kiss is going to come on and crush it. You know what I mean? But for the most part, for my career, they've been totally supportive of anything I've ever done. You know, once they got to know me in Union, they've been totally supportive and open to anything I've done. So it's been cool.
Yeah, it's as far as being hard, I don't think there's any competition. You know, I think the Kiss fans they like rock and roll, and again, coming back to what they deliver. They appreciate good musicianship and they appreciate good songs. They appreciate a good band. So without sounding arrogant, I think we are here to deliver, you know. Yeah. And I think they did their homework. I think they checked us out and they're giving us this opportunity because they know we can deliver. So,
I mean, we're doing this tour with them in Europe, but they not only were awesome or gracious enough to bring us to Europe,
yeah,
they're bringing us to Australia, and we're doing the cruise with them as well. So they definitely see something in this band, and they're totally opened the door for us. So it's been very cool.
So it's cool, you know.
Yeah, and something completely different you did was you went to Cuba for the new album, and to connect with the people there. How did that came?
That was great.
Well, it was a great thing. Now, I can't really explain about how it all came about because apparently, from what I've been led to believe, David Edwards, our manager, had been working on that for the better part of a year or so. So they had this trip already planned, and you guys called me maybe a month before
3 to 4 weeks, actually.
And it was like, can you go to Cuba? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, so I had to like learn all their stuff. We rehearsed in Cuba. I'd never played with any of the guys. We rehearsed in Cuba, and then we went and did the shows. But it was, like Marco said, it was an unbelievable experience. Like the intensity for those people, not really they've been kind of shut off from the rest of the world as far as rock and roll goes.
Absolutely.
So us being there, it was like, you know, they were just so amazingly grateful that we were there, and they showed up in droves. Like, there was a ton of people that couldn't even get into either show.
That reception was mind-blowing.
All the way up the top of the country. They drove like 8 hours, and, you know, a lot of them couldn't get in. So we're trying to go back again and do like maybe 3 or 4 cities in Cuba. It would be killer.
Yep. Yeah, that was her first time working with John, and he came and killed it. We had Daryl Jones playing bass from the Stones, and we had Bernard Fowler, and a
bunch of Cuban musicians as well.
A bunch of Cuban musicians, and the whole event turned into something, you know, magical. That is the word. It was like once in a lifetime experience, and then being the fact that we were in Cuba for the first time, you know, on the radar through the proper channels. The people just went bananas, man. And they're thirsty, they're hungry for music. And so hopefully we open the door for other cats to go there.
And I highly recommend for your readers, if you get the chance to go and check out some of the musicians like that are down there playing, they won't be disappointed. The musicians down there are sick. Like, they're amazing musicians.
Yep.
So, I mean, even that school we went to, Marco jammed with these kids, you know, a trumpet player,
and the sax player,
drummer, and they were doing like this kind of jazz funk, killer jam, and it was like amazing. Like,
very impressive. Yeah, 12 and 13-year-olds.
You know, Marco's he's very knowledgeable about his instrument, and these kids were keeping right up with him. You know what I mean? He was laying down these grooves, and it was insane. It was really cool.
The other cool thing is, and it's going to come out soon, we documented this whole thing. And so they're editing right now bits and pieces, and it'll be
That's
cool.
also called Revolution,
Revolucion.
isn't it? Yeah. Revolucion.
Yeah, which is revolution in English. But. So Cuba was amazing, man. Absolutely. Go there if you can. I'm telling you, you won't regret it.
Yeah. But was it easy to work with them? Because there might be some Cubans that are not so good speaking English, like
Well,
me.
No. He's Latin,
speak.
so he spoke with them. Anybody asked me a question, I'm like, Marco.
Okay,
and
so
he
you
would-
translated.
Yeah, yes,
But
absolutely.
don't you agree that most of them spoke English?
It was broken. They had to go slow,
But
but I could totally
yeah.
understand.
But my first language is Spanish. So for me, it was like, wow. And I grew up in Mexico, so it was very similar, man. It was like, wow, the food, the music. They love, they celebrate life in a lot of ways, including the music. So it was really cool.
Very
Great
cool.
experience. Very, very cool. Go there again.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I have to.
You
No,
have to.
you have to go.
Okay. And so.
Because as well, you have the Che Guevara beard. So
That's true.
this is true. You'll fit right in.
Okay.
That's true. Che Guevara y Castro, Fidel Castro, man.
Yeah.
You got it.
And now your new album is out, and as you said, the documentary is coming out, and I guess you'll be on tour. But have you plans for the time after all that?
Oh, the touring, you mean?
Yeah. So now it's
We're doing Europe for 4 weeks, and like
Yeah.
John was saying, I think we'll take a break July and August, and then we're back touring. We're going to Australia with Kiss. We're doing the Kiss cruise.
And then we back in with
Back
Whitesnake.
in Europe with Whitesnake, an older band.
Yeah.
And of mine, and it's great, man. We're gonna have a blast. No, we're trying to be honest. We're trying to work and get in front of as many audiences, as bigger audiences as we can. So that's another cat. David Coverdale gave us a great opportunity, and the boys. I was there for a few years, and we're really happy, man. I
Yeah,
think
he's
that
another
audience is gonna be
he's
cool.
another good guy. Like I had met him before, but we just rehearsed for this tour in L.A. and David was staying at the same hotel that we were at. He was rehearsing as well, and he's so cordial.
Yes,
You know, just very nice. And
he's the sweetest guy.
yeah,
He's a cool guy.
very cool.
So we're very lucky, to have friends like Gene and Paul and David Coverdale and Ossie Hoppy. I mean, we have friends because
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber,
of course.
Glenn Campbell, and
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, take my wife, please.
Yeah, take my wife.
so this guy walks into the
My wife wants to make love in the back of a car. She wants me to drive. Whatever. Anyway,
no respect. I got
no respect. No respect.
Oh man.
Okay. So yeah, thank you for your time, and I hope you're enjoying Rockavaria.
Yeah, we're gonna go. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I have some friends. It's funny, the new drummer for Accept is a friend of mine. He's played in my solo band in America, where we both live in Nashville. So I saw him, and then when I did the Scream album, or when we first started the Scream, Scott Travis was the drummer, and then he left to go play with Priest. So I want to go say hi to him, and it, like he was saying earlier, it's a
Bunch of
great way for
friends.
us to see all of our friends that we haven't seen in a
Yeah.
long time. So. I'm looking forward to it.
And for your audience, we need all the support, man. Bottom line, every little bit helps. So go to the deaddaisies.com, and there, I'm sure you're going to be able to download some free music. I was told.
Yep.
So just support it whenever you can. Show up, talk about it, and that's the bottom line. So okay. Thank you for your
Thank
time,
you very
bro.
much.
Thank you.
Auf Wiedersehen.